Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Come on! Hey! Come on up and red boys again. Go and tell all your friends. Girl, I didn't come here for no conversation. I came here for the relaxation. To take a little wine out behind you. With no strings attached, girl. I didn't make no reservation before I sneak up behind your bam bam. But I move everything cool. Hey, girl, cause a dance is a place where everything is everything. And if you feel like you could wind up on anything, I wanna hold you like I hold the mic when I sing. Once you satisfied, there's no reason to pick off the wedding ring. This is the season for the whining. The only thing you could make me take off the night is the shirt. Cause all I wanna do is flirt with no strings attached. When I hold on, I go whine on that. That sweet pop don't bother me. You're not make me guilty. I don't care who's watching me. What they see is what they see. This thing between you and me, you're not make me guilty. Girl, if a man come up in your face and track you, saying that the first time he see you, he like you, tell that man he's not a fool. No way. You ain't come here for that now. Next thing I'm on right up behind your bum. See, when you look back, you realize you're ugly. Girl, don't make no hasty decision. Why? Cause a dance is a place where everything is everything. And if you feel like you could wind up on anything, I wanna hold you like I hold the mic when I sing. Once you satisfied, there's no reason to pick off the wedding ring. This is the season for the whining. The only thing you could make me take off the night is for sure. Cause all I wanna do is flirt with no strings attached. When I hold on, I go whine on that. That sweet pop don't bother me. You're not make me guilty. I don't care who's watching me. What they see is what they see. This thing between you and me, and you're not make me guilty. Cause a dance is a place where everything is everything. And if you feel like you could wind up on anything, I wanna hold you like I hold the mic when I sing. Once you satisfied, there's no reason to take off the wedding ring. This is the season for the winding. The only thing is to make me take off the night is for sure. Cause all I wanna do is flirt with no strings attached. When I hold on, I can wine on that. That sweet fuck don't bother me. You not make me guilty. I don't care who's watching me. What they see is what they see. This thing between you and me, and you not make me guilty.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Okay. The energy and the vibes. And trust me, this might be a morning that only need real energy. So let's see if we can throw that out here big time this morning. Good morning, everybody. And of course, welcome. Good to have you here. It is NewEraTTRadio, NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. This is where we take you above and beyond. So glad to be in your company on this God-blessed day. Giving God thanks and praises for life. So thank you, Heavenly Father, for bringing us together for another day. Everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. Trinidad and Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean, friends who stream all around the globe, we welcome everybody. Yeah, there are many who did not make it through the night, so give God thanks and praises. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles. Happy am I to be in your company as we welcome everybody to our Get Up and Go. This is the Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Show energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Hi, good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are across the planet, and welcome to the Breakfast Show this morning. And of course, it is Tuesday morning. You know, we're still at the beginning of the work week, I guess. But a special good morning to you wherever you are, and thanks for joining us. We know you have a choice, and we're glad you chose us. Good morning to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Richard. Good morning to the world.
Hi, good morning, Richard. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe.
You're looking so rested today, Wendell. You're looking very yeah.
I don't know.
Very at peace. Are you at peace?
I don't know. I think so.
Don't live at peace.
I think so. You know?
Maybe he got to bed early last night.
It's Tuesday. I did get to bed early last night, actually. I've been binge watching a series called Reacher, and I've reached season 3 already. Just to tell you how fast I'm going through it.
Okay, I've seen all of them already because that's what I follow. So.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. So I watched it for the entire weekend, and here I am in season 3 already last night. And well, I took my sleeping gummies and I actually got some sleep. So that's probably why I look a little rested.
Okay, I was kind of the opposite. I had some. When you have disturbed sleep some nights, well, you're supposed to know.
Yes.
And not only that, that's disturbing dreams.
Oh.
Even though some of them would make a good movie. But anyway.
You mean like my life? Because
take it back to you.
You know what? You reach stages in life where you accept certain things. Yeah. And I think I've been reaching that stage lately where you accept certain things, that this is how it's going to be, and that's the reality of it. You know, I mean, there's nothing I could do. I've tried my very best. You know.
Well, I mean, I suppose...
I know you think I'm talking in code, but I'm not.
No. No, I didn't think you were, actually. I thought you were just being matter of fact.
Yeah.
Especially, I suppose, as you get older, too. You know, things... You have less patience, I guess. You have less patience, and also you have less patience for nonsense.
Yes.
And you speak a little bit more honestly a lot of the times because you're a little bit more direct about it.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I don't see it that way. But
I mean, I've done that a lot of my life. I've spoken.
Yeah. You've always spoken
most
whatever
of
your
life.
truth is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
I'm worried though because I'm seeing stark evidence of people who were thrown on the breadline with the different work programs. I'm finally seeing the effects that it has had on people. Some people, some people can't pay the rent, Richard.
yes,
We're going to end up having some homeless people, more homeless people, because of losing that little pittance that they were getting, that they were able to afford a room somewhere in some village.
so when there's somebody committed suicide,
Yeah, I know that, but
it doesn't get worse than that.
Yeah, true. But
They took their life because of the financial issues.
I'm now talking about the people who were directly associated with us.
Right.
You know,
Who you are privy to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but it would be a real thing. Anybody losing their income or the source of income is, I don't know how some people are glib about it. I don't know how some people make jokes about it. I don't know how some people smile about it. And you know, make all kind of comments. It seems as if the world, the more sophisticated we get in terms of our access to information, a lot of people become more unkind.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And not just Trinidad, I'm just talking globally. People have become more unkind. And not only have they become more unkind, they revel in it. They revel in being unkind and saying unkind things, like it's a badge of honor. And it has infiltrated even to leadership in many areas of leadership. Where being unkind is passion.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's extremely sad. I just hope that the government has a plan to address those things in the upcoming budget, and that some relief will come people's way pretty soon enough. And I'm speaking about the people who would have lost their jobs when the government changed. And I'm speaking specifically to that.
Yeah.
You know?
But when you lose your job, is your ability to finance your children's education, your ability to eat, your ability to provide meals. It's beyond the ability to provide a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You know, it's
just your normal day-to-day living, you know, that is so much impacted. I mean, you know, so yeah, they need to deal with that situation. I find it
I saw an interview, not to mean to cut across you, Sir Charles, but I did see an interview last night on news where they interviewed Khadija Amin about that whole issue about when people expect to get back the issue of CPEP, reforestation, and URP. And she said, you know, well, you can look in the budget. Let's see what happens in the budget or something like that. A comment like that. Let's see what's in the budget. But it's sad. I find it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it is very sad.
Sometimes I don't even like to watch news. Sometimes you feel like to just disconnect. I have some friends who disconnect from news completely, and I'm not talking, and these are professionals and stuff, and they just tell me, Richard, I don't want to watch news. Just,
you know, I have not looked at local news. Well, I have not looked at any news for the last 2 weeks because I don't know, something happened to my flow, and it coming up where it's saying this box is disconnected from something. Press something called VOUT, VOUT, and I looking for that button all over my remote and I can't find it. I say to hell with that. It has stayed just like that. So now I put on, you were just hearing, you can't see anything. I give up. I say to hell with that. I need the 12th floor, take back the TV part of it. Just give me internet.
Yeah. A lot of people have done that. A lot of people have cut cable ties.
Yeah.
And that's the internet. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm
wishing I could do that here, but of course I'm one of the person in the household is an avid sports person and is adamant that cable has access to some of the better sports channels.
Hello, get a Fire Stick and you're good to go. It's what I did. That's why I
don't have a Fire Stick, but they still admit that they're still adamant that some of the sports channels are good, that they don't want
better on cable. Nah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, some of the sports channels.
They need to search the Fire Stick a little more.
Yeah.
They're
younger than you, of course they can do that.
Well, exactly.
But they prefer that there's some of the channels you can.
Wait. Is all of this good news?
Things you need to understand. 1. When you're winning, keep your mouth shut. 2. Don't tell people your plans. Wait till the results speak for themselves. 3. Never expect to get what you give. Not everyone has a heart of flesh. 4. Every day you wake up, you have a new job to be better than yesterday. 5. You will never get what you want until you are grateful for what you have. 6. Sometimes what you're trying to hold on to is exactly what you should let go of. 7. If you want to buy things without looking at the price, work without looking at the clock. 8. God puts people in your life for a reason and removes them from your life for a better reason. 9. The devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable in you. Thieves don't break into empty houses. 10. You're going to set a lot of people off when you start doing what's best for you. 11. You will lose a lot of friends when you get really serious about your life goals. 12. Life does not get easier. You just get stronger.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that.
Yeah. You're waxing. What is called
philosophical.
No, this morning there, Richard.
Well, the news,
Yeah,
sometimes things to think about.
Yeah, I come up. Once you Google that, you get that coming up all the time. And I sometimes tend to go to those type of videos that kind of tend to lift your spirit. Yeah. And you get them continuously, you know what I mean? And for that I'm thankful. Sometimes I share them as my statuses, Anyway, let me just say happy birthday. Today is the last day of September. It's the day of the pretend Libras. It's the last day to get in a happy birthday of a pretend Libra. And I say that specifically for my barber, my IT man, my friend Roland Sanka. But I just start teasing him. You're not a true Libra, because you're September. You cannot be a true Libra. So today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Roland. CJ Edmond and Samantha Rochard. Remember that name? Is she still at Radio Vision? I think she is.
Samantha who?
Rochard.
Oh, Rochard. I thought you said Rochard or something. Yeah. I think she's back there.
She's okay. So anyway, today is her birthday. Candace Nori, Denise Chin, who I'm sure she's listening this morning. Michelle Weeks King, living out there in the United States. All of them celebrating happy birthday today on the last day of the pretend Librans. That's what I christened it. All right? You have any birthdays?
Me? No, I'll have this week because the Ruku Mason's birthday is this week. I think it's on I think it's Thursday.
Yes, I have a few birthdays as well coming up. Well, October is filled with birthdays.
Yeah, October I have plenty birthdays. Plenty.
Yeah. Clearly, real families. Real.
So why you call the people pretend Libra and Libra is from September to October?
because that last part of September, where Libras celebrate, they're not really Librans.
And
But
you are expert
from
on
the middle of September to the middle of October, not?
No, it's from the 23rd, I think, of September.
Signs.
Right, to the 22nd of October, somewhere around there.
No, that's specifically for Roland Sanka. He's a pretend Libra.
Oh,
You just bung in somebody's search.
yeah.
Let's go with it.
When you say Roland, probably not as devious as most Librans.
Most Librans.
Yeah. So that's why he probably was saying that, you know.
He has no balance in him. He has no balance.
He's probably like the fowl that don't eat the corn. He just
He has no balance. Child has no balance.
And we say that before we greet people, may I say thank you to all of the people who came out in their numbers over the weekend at Central Bank Auditorium on Saturday and Sunday to see You Don't Leave Fowl to Watch Corn. I mean, endless people came out on Saturday and Sunday. And I mean, I know Saturday was particularly difficult for a lot of people to park. And my apology because they had some other function that finished before the show, but would have affected people coming earlier to park. Okay. And so it became an issue. I don't know why. I mean, Anthem has a huge car park across the way. I don't know why Anthem doesn't allow some sort of park. Come to some sort of arrangement between them and Central Bank. I should say that
think so by now.
The two corporations should talk, you know. But you know, it is what it is. So it becomes an issue sometimes, especially if there's something else going on. But Sunday people had left didn't have that issue. But I mean, people really did come out, and thank you so much for coming out to the play. And people also had a spectacular 2 nights of people laughing and carrying on. You know, people came backstage both nights. I saw Sherwin again. Sherwin came backstage with a group of people. You know, so it's nice to meet all of them. So thank you for supporting theatre and coming out. Of course, this weekend we had to Sapa. We're back in San Fernando, and we're going to the big theatre, Sapa. So we'll be in Sapa on Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. Of course, tickets are already selling because the box office opened yesterday, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily at Sapa box office, and it's open every day. And of course, tickets are also available at K Squared, C3 Center, and Brentwood Mall and Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. And those outlets have been selling tickets since last week because they had tickets since then. So we expect, you know, when people are going to come out and sell. It has such a great word of mouth. So thank you.
Yeah. So Charles, you know what that means? We had to make next week Monday an open forum day. We can't have a guest. Because you know who will not be there, right?
I know you don't.
You know who will message us 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning to say, boy, I'm now going home.
Nah, he had
15 Heineken and all right, a mess.
I don't know how we getting so delinquent all of a sudden, but he was getting up.
I just added that part. No, you get old. But it's this coming this month too, you know.
He can't be getting old and Lyman later.
He's October born.
So that play is very the role I have is pretty active.
Yes, it is very active. I have to admit, I was wondering in the beginning how you were making it. But when I came to the play and I saw how much you did, how much foul you run, and corn you eat.
Anyhow, let's say good morning to the people in the chat right now.
Already, I'm Miss Davidi.
Let's do that. Started off with Miss Davidi at 12:01. She has rejoined the victory team. Good morning to the breakfast team. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning, guys. Margaret Thomas, Josie Richardson, Brennan Smith, Alistair Hart, Eunice Dublin, Michael Mack, Wendy Ann and Frank James, and today they are celebrating their 58th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
I've met Wendy Ann James. I've never met Frank James. But surely a street or some building needs to be named after Frank James. He deserves an award.
58 years.
58 years. Because
wow.
rename Aranguez, wherever they live in, the Frank James way. And a lot of people could copy or whatever Frank do for 58 years. Men need to still learn to do that.
A big congratulations to you, Wendy, and your husband.
Yes.
That's a lot of people's lifetime then. Yes. Ava Smith also says good morning. Marlon Motley says good morning. Victor
Good morning,
Thongs,
Marlon.
Victor Thongs, Michael Cadet, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, Erica Charles, Carol Guevara, and she wishes Frank and Wendy and happy 58. Ozzy Molino, good morning. GH, good morning, gentlemen. Doreen Peer, Robert Taylor, Diane Payne.
Good morning, Robert.
Ann Noel from Oshawa, Canada. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona.
Good morning, Ingrid.
Melchizedek, Joanne Cyrus, Odell Guy from Sangre Grande. Boy Videsi from Debe. Gavin Frank, Paul, Robert Harper, Lambert Bruce, Ilarizan in early this morning, boy. Julia Batiste, Rena Budu Jennings,
Morning, Julia.
Debbie Modest, Marcia Rock in Orlando, Florida, Donna Ramlo Chan, Kathy Ann Charles, Magic, David McCarthy. Magic says, I'm one of those persons for sure, Richard. I don't know, that was in reference maybe to news, not watching news. I don't know. Yeah. Yes, Richard, I stopped watching news too. So says Carol Guevara. CJ from New York. Morning, CJ.
Good morning, CJ. Mwah.
Diane Payne, Wendell, too much hardship on so many people and the lack of caring by some. You're absolutely right. Kazim Mohammed says Wendell vote is bottom right on the remote. I actually Googled it and looked for it, and it's not on my new remote. It was on my old remote, and my old remote not working. So I give up. Thanks, Kazim. I give up. Robert Harper says, for my mental sanity, I took off notifications and measure how I receive information. Day-to-day existence heavies you and actually shapes your mood. So right. Wayne Ramsey, good morning. And don't forget Mugfest out there in Fort Lauderdale this weekend. Wayne Ramsey has a fete that is like a super fete. It's the weekend before Miami Carnival, of course, out there in Fort Lauderdale. And all you have to do is go back with a mug. Go with a mug and you'll get in the fete free, okay? Carol Guevara, Richard, yesterday was your girl Wendy Charles, my sister, birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday, Wendy.
All right.
Belated birthday.
Belated, yes. Katyan Townsend also says, good morning, gentlemen. Wendell, the vote button is on the last row of buttons, extreme right. Yes, thanks, Katyan. I give up, I give up on trying.
Morning, neighbor.
I just need to call Flo and tell them now, take off my cable channels. Just leave me with the internet. Sankofa said, bountiful graces and blessings, everyone. The roadways has become more dangerous with the overgrowth of bush and grass. True. Joyce Phillip, at Good News, Sankofa say October is the only month of the year. The others are just spacers. Let's celebrate. Sankofa, that to me is your most profound post. Well, you need to add October /Libra because the one the end where Richard is the change. You change. He and Dr. Rowley. They're not Librans. They're October, but they're not
Scorpios. We are Scorpios.
Joyce Phillip is asking where
everybody aspires to be.
What?
I say Scorpios, the sign that everybody aspires.
Go ahead, Wendell. Go ahead. Don't get distracted. Go ahead.
Beauty Culture, Anthony Atwell says, good morning, three good men. Magic says, Sir Charles Corrector Mundo. I don't know what that's for. Apollina says, pleasant morning to all of you. Lyndon, happy morning, guys. Chris too said, all you see, Richard has already started the 4-day work week. When he's in place, trust me, he works hard. That is more than and the 4 days he working here. All right. Michael Robinson, Yokohama, Japan. Kenny in Harlem. Lincoln. Mrs. R.
Robinson, happy belated birthday. I didn't know yesterday was your birthday.
My Alexa is telling me I'm not quite sure to help you with that. Alexa, I didn't speak to you. Hush your mouth. Tell Richard I come in weekend to see the fall, so says Ilarizan. So look out for Nazir Ali, Richard, this weekend. Okay. CJ wishing Frank and Wendy and happy 58. So does Sherwin Kerr. And Maria Selye said, Richard, we enjoyed your play on Saturday. Great performances. All right. Those are the
Thank
messages.
you. And good morning, Mrs. R. And you see, Mrs. R is on point. Look at that. Best men are Scorpios. She's on point. She understands it. She understands it.
Hook, line, and sinker.
She would be say the best men are police too.
Thank you very much, Maria. Selye. I ain't going down your road now. You go down my road by yourself.
Anyhow, guys, let me say good morning to Kent in Laventille.
Hey, look at that Cooper Richard who likes scorpions. One just answer in the chat.
Also, good morning to Terry and Peters in Mover, Mr. Beeps out there in PT Valley, Captain Ron in Orlando, Sachin, good morning to you, Frank in Aruka, Brenda in Pinal, Fifi in Addis Ababa, good afternoon to you, Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada, Mahi in Columbus, Ohio, Mr. Billy in Powder Magazine, Colin in Carenage, Joyce Phillips, I can't remember where Joyce is at, good morning, Zena out there in Arima, Oliver Manwaring, good morning to you, and Sandra Seret, good morning. Yeah, all those people who are joining us and the folks who are not on the chat but are here with us, good morning to you.
All right.
So we're going for the break and come back.
Yep, we are.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop. Located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services, oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on NewEraTTRadio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at NewEraTTRadio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
The best show by far for 2025.
You don't leave out to watch Corn. It's the #1 comedy of 2025. And this weekend we head to Sapa in San Fernando on Saturday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 5th at 6:30 p.m.
I never knew these plays were this good. I'm not missing another one.
Tickets available at the Sapa Box from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And at K-Squared Fashion, C3 Center and Brentford Mall, Chagonas, as well as Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. A play so funny, you can't watch it once.
All right, so we are back, and of course, Wendell is raring to go with the Express.
Of course I am. Let me also say good morning to Colted Finch, Kathy Ann Townsend, and Carla Hercules, all right? Today, of course, is September 30th, the last day of September in the year 2025. some of the stories trending in the Express Online. Le Hunt calls for government to save the breakfast shed. Murdered doctor, her life was love. Alzari sideline, and of course that's cricket. And West Indies lost a game against, well, the game and the series against Nepal yesterday, being bowled down for 83. You could actually, so I wouldn't even bother. Twice missing Komal found at hotel. So Komal was apparently found at the Touchdown Hotel. Well, boy, the among the comments on that story, I just laugh. I've been laughing all morning.
I'll go home and check and see what's going on by Komal.
Well, Komal, this is the second year straight Komal went missing. Last time he ended up in Venezuela. All right? So the report said, let me say. And this time he's ended up in the Touchdown Hotel. All right? Or you pick some nonsense.
Touchdown.
Westmoreland's man abducted, bound and robbed in Beetham attack. Man charged over fake vehicle tint and light authorization documents. Why would he go through all that trouble? Just take off your tint and move your fog lamps. Reef tour operator arrested in Tobago robbery and 2 miles of Roy and DJ Pelau. I don't know what that story is about. All right, so those are some stories here trending in the Express. And of course, I'm sure you all would have seen the other video from that police officer, Bidesi, who threw in his towel. He went a little further yesterday in criticizing the police service. And I really feel it for that young man. I really feel he is clearly going through a stressful period, both within the police service and of course on the death of his mother. He is clearly going through a lot of stress. All right? PCBDC, if you're listening, I commiserate with you this morning. All right? So that's the Express.
All right, the news day for today, and the main story, well, the trending stories on the news day today, what I should say. Sawat Singh, U.S. strikes on traffickers make CARICOM safer. Tuco General Council to decide next AGM. Ministers knock hasty complaints over property tax funds. Zimbabwean man robbed near Sealots. WASA promises 6-week water fix for Mount Dore. Missing teacher found safe in Piako Hotel. And mourners recall slain doctors' endless love and service. And that's basically the main stories for the news this morning. Over to you on The Guardian, Sir Charles.
All right, so missing school teacher found safe in St. Helena Hotel. Drone drop blocked. 3 suspects held 50 meters from prison. PM, no tension between TNT CARICOM after UN speech. PM to discuss tariffs, energy, national security in Washington today. Augustine defends splitting tourism portfolio, insists it's not illegal. And attorney cries shame on CMO, ex-ministers after court rule COVID border policy was unlawful. Some of these stories.
Well, the court made, to me, the correct decision. Because remember the time that COVID was going on and we were on air at the time, and I remember saying, how can you tell a citizen that you can't come back home? Mm-hmm. Citizenship must mean something.
Yeah.
And to be glib about it and some people were stranded in countries.
Mm-hmm. My son was.
With very low money. And some people were, had to go by friends or family and stuff like that. And they were stuck there for a little while they worked through this policy. So there was a little chaotic eventually until they got to a kind of streamlined process. But how can you tell citizens can't return?
Yeah.
You have to find a process of when they return, how you deal with it. But
it's like countries at the time pressed a panic button.
Yeah.
And dealt with it.
And I still find that there needs to be some sort of commission of inquiry or report done on how we handled COVID.
Mm-hmm.
This is not about blame. This is about how efficient was the process, what could we have done better so that we know as a country and as a public health, the public health sector of the country and the private health sector, how do we deal if and when this happens again? What is the process of what we did wrong, what we did right?
Yeah.
Because so many people died.
Yes.
We all know somebody who died or people who died.
Yes. Well, my son was out in the United States and he was stranded out there for 8 months. And his mom, who was ailing here for quite a while, when he came back, she died within a week, of him returning after being stuck out there. It's almost like she was just waiting on him. And within a week, she passed away. I remember also too, at one point in time, my wife at the time and my son traveled. And when they came back, they had to be quarantined at Cape Park. And some of the things affected, well, I mean, they clearly affected me personally. But I just couldn't understand. I mean, I understood the issue of urine and the side of caution. I understood that, because people were actually getting sick on the planes, but it's COVID is something that I don't think anybody will ever understand.
It was just a troublesome, historical time for the planet because so many millions of people died. But and I always felt our approach, I always felt we should have allowed family members to sign whatever waiver and outfit them in the necessary, outfit, whatever it is, hazard outfit, whatever, should be able to have visited and sit with their loved ones.
Yeah.
I think isolating them from family members, when you have nobody to advocate for you, you see that ability to advocate for somebody who is sick?
Richard,
it's an important component,
Yeah.
Because sometimes that issue of you feeling alone, and nobody there to help you sickens you further.
But not even not to help you, but even to see you or to say goodbye. A lot of family members left this
saying goodbye, because I think some of them would have survived, Wendell. That people were there by their side, because once you know your loved ones are physically by your side, that helps. But that issue, and then the issue to be able to advocate for you. When people are very sick, don't just go and see a doctor by yourself, carry somebody with you, because that person can advocate for you. They can ask the questions you are unable to ask, or because you're not necessarily thinking logically about the questions that need to be asked.
Yeah.
I actually know someone, and when the last time they saw the person, their loved one, is when the ambulance took them in, and that was it,
Yes.
I mean, it was a worldwide thing, eh?
And people called from inside the hospitals and saying, "Oh my God, this is horrible, it's treating us so badly." You had all those kind of messages. And as a country, we have never analyzed our response. And it's not about being political. It's not about that. It's about analyzing our response and making it better. That's what intelligent countries would have done.
Yeah.
What were the gaps? What we did right?
Yeah. I mean, when my first wife passed away, it was during COVID. She didn't die of COVID because she was ailing long before that. And we were at the Port of Spain hospital, and we couldn't even go under the tent where they had her. You understand? Eventually, they did a COVID test again post-mortem, and that's when the body was released. Could you imagine that?
Yeah. No,
my friend was distraught.
One of my good friends told me that he would have died. He went to the tent in Arima and stuff, and he said he was so sick. He said he was going to die, and he said if he stayed in the public health sector, he would have died. He said because you sat down. He said you sat down there for an entire day, not moving, and people are actually dying around you.
Yeah.
And he said he called. He said he asked to borrow somebody's phone, and they lent him, and he called his family and said, "Come and pick me up."
Yeah, because everybody was being treated as COVID related.
Yeah, and he's alive today, and he said it was horrible.
Yeah,
and he felt that if he went into the system, he would have died. So we need to be have examined that. The PNM was never interested in doing it. They were never interested in analyzing what we did right and what we did wrong.
Yeah.
And to me, it was not a political issue. It was about being analytical. But, you know, you live in a small island state where everybody's egos get mashed quick. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Anyhow, before we get to the poll and everything, what is going on with this breakfast shed situation?
Well, you know, interestingly enough, a good friend of mine, I have a lot of good friends. My good friend of mine, because we were in Central Bank, went across the breakfast shed to get lunch. She often goes, and she said that when she went there, they were telling her this was their last day. And she said, what? And she said, yes. And she said at certain points, they were turning off the electricity, things like that on them. And they got notices to vacate. Now, there weren't many vendors left in breakfast shed. You know, if you know the old breakfast shed, in terms of how they designed the new breakfast shed, they made an error. And I'll tell you what the error is. When there was the old breakfast shed, for those of you who remember the old breakfast shed, you could have parked easily.
Yeah.
And walked inside. When they did the whole waterfront complex, they treated the parking for breakfast shed badly.
Yeah. But they didn't provide parking.
There's parking for about, what, 10 cars or 8 cars maybe? And that affected a lot of people accessing it, because people in cars, if you're passing my breakfast shed and you ain't see a parking spot, you ain't stopping, because where are you going? To the hired car park? It was difficult, and they never resolved that issue. So there are a lot of vendors would have left before. But they said, you know, they were starting to turn off the electricity to kind of like make them leave now. They were starting to do things that landlords do. This is what they communicated to her. And they said, you know, so they just throwing in the towel at this point, and they got notices. I noticed that Mr. Bedesi said that no notices were given out. They said they got notices, friend, to leave, that they had to leave, so they were just wrapping it up. But, you know, from something that was such an institution, became a cultural institution in terms of breakfast shed and getting, you know, that kind of food that you got at breakfast shed, to now, well, it's done. You know, many YouTube bloggers have done blogs on the food of Trinidad and Tobago, and breakfast shed is always one of the places they go.
Always, yeah.
So it's like, you know, I don't know that this country really cares, quite frankly. I'm not getting cynical about it, but I don't think they value things like that. They're like, you know, let's move on.
Yeah. I ate at the breakfast shed once, the old breakfast shed, not the new, not the femme de chalet. Yeah. I ate at the old breakfast shed, where it was just an open thing. I went there to eat a day, because everybody talking about breakfast shed. I talking 30 years ago or something.
Yeah, right? we know.
And the amount of flies I see, I say, I am never coming back here. So I don't know what the new breakfast shed felt like. But you see, one fly around me is enough for me to just turn over my food and leave. Anyway, any establishment.
You know, you live in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah?
You know, you live in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, I know.
You know, flies are born here and go out to the rest of the planet, right?
You know why I know that? A day I had an uncle-in-law was here, and during fly season, because, you know, we have fly season, right? And I live east of me is a farm. And when they put on the chicken, SHIT manual, I just get all the flies coming across by me during that time of the year. And that thing smells awful. So he was eating a day outside. I said, why are you eating out here? He said, nah, these things don't bother me. And I said, no.
No, but flies wouldn't. I mean, it depends on how many flies it is, but you know, one fly buzzing around, most people will leave it at move. You know, but but it is what it is. But maybe they need to upgrade it. Maybe they need to make it air conditioned, because it wasn't air conditioned.
No.
And you know, these days real hot.
There is a shed. They wanted to maintain that shed.
No, I mean, no. I get it. And the nice view. And so maybe they need to modernize it a little bit and make it a little bit more that you're able to be enclosed, because you have all kind of strange people could just walk in, right? Including vagrants and all kind of thing while eating. So, I mean, maybe you want to make it a little bit more stuff. But you know, it's gotten hard, because I have some cousins from Canada by me, and they say, oh my God, you know, they're thinking about if they could come back to Trinidad. And, you know, because sometimes people want to come back and they say, but it's so hot. maybe we have to get acclimatized to the heat. I said, let me tell you something. Trinidadians seem not acclimatized to the heat. We find it hot too. I said, we say, oh God, it's hot today. so don't feel you get accustomed to it and say, yeah, it's normal. No, not normal.
Yeah, you see the last part of your comment?
Before we go up to the
yeah, when there's a chance, want to take a couple of calls.
Yeah, no, he can open up the lines while I say this. DL, you see the last part of your comment? Trust me, somebody watching that location very closely, I am 100% sure that you're right. Because that is a prime location.
It is. It is a very prime location.
Prime location.
Caller, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, caller.
I want to talk about that topic that you're speaking about there. I'm calling on the government. Obviously, this renting or this problem on the blood pressure has spanned several governments because to be owing so much money that was accumulated over a period of time. So I'm asking the government of the if they could do something according to Mr. Lee Hunt to rectify this problem, have some leniency on these people that work, because I bought a food tank from the blood pressure, and I will say it is one of the best food places in Trinidad and Tobago. The second thing, I sort of see having the chairman of the Tuna Piako Corporation, and I want you all to ask him two questions. Why is it that the Bukoya ground on next to Center of Excellence, why is that ground not being properly maintained? If you pass there now, you will see part of the ground, the northern side and the southern side, overgrown with grass. As a matter of fact, that ground is not maintained by the corporation. Private people, one of the guys that run the cricket league there, cut that grass every single week. That ground is not being maintained by the corporation. And the last thing is, I want to ask him, the pavilion in Pinto Road, Mickey Chapman Pavilion, has been down since 2020, right? And every time you speak to the Honorable MP Beckles, she always telling you that they are working on it.
Yeah, well, Paula, hold your thoughts on it, and we will try and see when we get the chairman here if he will be able to address some of those concerns directly. Right? Good morning to you.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Mr. Martin.
If Injun Ishmael was alive today, you know what he would have said with that situation and with the breakfast shed? The PNM allowed them to live because he used to be cussing and talking about the people in the BTAM and how they're living for free. So he would have blamed the PNM for not enforcing getting their rent, why it has reached to that. I would have liked to hear him talk about that situation and the breakfast shed. Y'all have a blessed.
So do you think he would have been right?
That is a good question, Mr. Kumar. Do you think he would have been right?
Yeah.
By asking that question?
I don't follow what you're saying though, because it's Udicott in charge of that compound, you know?
Yeah, Udicott is in charge. And by invoking Sean Ishmael's name anyway.
Yeah.
But the issue of, well, Robert LaHunt, I think in his letter in the newspapers yesterday, I think what he was saying that at the point that they were dislocated from their old shed that you would have gone to as a middle-aged man, Wendell. They should have been allowed to be there rent-free as part of the concession for them being, dislocated. That was one of the suggestions Robert Hunt had made in his letter.
Well, that's a noble gesture, but weren't they compensated for being dislocated at the time?
I can't remember.
And we middle-aged people have a better memory than you young people.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong longer.
Caller, good morning to you.
Yeah,
good morning.
Only in Trinidad and Tobago, I just hear people. You are in a contractual agreement that you have to pay a rent, and you fail to pay your rent for years.
Yes.
Years. And when the relevant authority decides to evict you, everybody jumping out about compassion and give them a chance. And what kind of foolishness would us be in? And that's why we are an unproductive society, because everybody wants to exist without paying what they're supposed to pay. Right?
Well, Lincoln, you're being a little unfair. Let me tell you why you're being a little unfair. They may have been set up in a kind of way to fail. Because if you did not provide ample parking, remember, they were dislocated. The state built that facility, very limited parking in comparison to what was there before. So naturally, there was a fall off in terms of the amount of clientele that could have gone there. In addition, the rental fees, I think, would have gone up. So a lot of them would have left.
Let me answer that, Richard. Let me answer that, Richard. Lincoln, 1 second.
Go ahead.
They would have also have had to increase the cost of the food, because their food was cheaper because of where they were. They would have had to increase it and couldn't compete with the restaurants that are air conditioned within the city with parking. They couldn't compete with them.
So then they're telling me that they were given grace, they were given a blight to exist for so long without paying their bills.
But clearly.
But if they knew they weren't making money and they had no parking and things, they should have moved out a long time ago.
Or renegotiated. Most of them did leave. It was just a couple left, you know.
I know I went to a boat ride and I still haven't patronized the thing there, and half of these stores were empty.
Most of them had left.
Just had a few people holding on there.
It has some big, Lincoln, it has some big establishments in this country. Ain't paid you the cut a cent. And ain't paid the government a cent in tax. And they existing still. And those start me this morning, you know, boy. Don't start me, no? Save the breakfast shed. I'm going on with a placard later.
Okay. Take a picture so we see proof.
All right, so
what is up, people? Should there be an intervention to save the breakfast shed? Yes or no?
I didn't know you saved it, man. But the people who want to run it don't want to be there because they're not making money.
And I want to point people on the chat to Donna Ramlochan comment and Lester Cragwell comment.
Conspiracy theories, I suppose. Kola, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning to you, Kola.
I for saving the breakfast shed. Right, the breakfast shed has history behind it, and I think it should do something about the breakfast shed from not being there anymore. However, I just want to highlight the country, since we move of CPEP and European and that thing. It's just nasty.
Yeah, boy.
It's just nasty. Bushes everywhere in the communities. There's just bushes everywhere. I know people who own properties and who live on properties and what kind of thing. They won't clean in front of the places. They only depending on CPEP to come and do the thing. I think it's high time that the government, whoever government in office, should put a tax or something like that for people to keep it in front of the property clean. I was in abroad recently, in a community, and everybody have the place well clean and manicured and whatnot. So I cannot understand why people can't keep the place clean. But since you remove a CPEP, the place just damn nasty, man.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, Kola.
It's one of the negatives of what the government has done. this government has done in closing down CPEP, well, stopping CPEP temporarily or not, we don't know. And and releasing a lot of people from URP and stuff. That's one of the consequences. You see much more places that were maintained. It's kind of now you see the value of CPEP in a kind of way, because a lot of places you saw maintained and now, not maintained. They just look terrible.
Yeah. All right, so people, we are going for the news at 7 o'clock, and continue to vote on the poll. Don't forget to put yes or no first, okay? Yeah. And when we come back, we'll continue the discussions. Okay, guys?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers is dismissing talk of tension between Trinidad and Tobago and its CARICOM neighbors after Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar held no bilateral meetings with regional leaders during last week's UN General Assembly. Sobers says the issue was simply scheduling, not friction. While in New York, the Prime Minister met with leaders of Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. But a planned meeting with Jamaica's Andrew Holness never materialized. This afternoon at 3 p.m., Persad Bissessar heads to Washington, D.C. for talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The Court of Appeal has reserved its decision in a landmark case that could set, for the first time, a sentencing framework for murder in Trinidad and Tobago, where the death penalty can no longer be imposed. The appeals involve Fayed Edu and Raleigh Ghani, convicted in 1999 for the murders of businessman Rajpal Das and his sister-in-law, Susan Ramnath. Their death sentences were commuted to life under the Pratt and Morgan precedent. In resentencing last year, Justice Gail Gonzalez imposed life terms with minimums of 12 years for Edu and 5 for Ghani, prompting appeals on whether the sentences were too harsh. Attorneys argued the men showed strong evidence of rehabilitation, while prosecutors insisted the killings, one a contract hit, the other to silence a witness, were brutal enough to justify life terms. The judges said this was the first opportunity to set clear guidelines for murder resentencing. Their ruling will come at a later date. A late-night police and prison operation at the maximum security prison has led to the arrest of 3 men and the seizure of drugs, electronics, and other contraband believed bound for inmates. The exercise, which began Sunday night and ended early Monday, involved officers from the DCP Operations Unit, SIU, MOPS, and the Prison Service. The suspects include men from Morvant, Santa Cruz, and Debati. Officers intercepted a silver Nissan Ladio and found marijuana, cocaine, a drone with batteries and chargers, a Wi-Fi modem, digital scales, cigarettes, and lighters. A coordinated sting inside the prison also uncovered more prohibited items in cell block searches. Investigators say the bust has disrupted a smuggling network targeting the maximum security prison. After decades of serving locals and visitors, the iconic breakfast shed on Port of Spain's waterfront has shut its doors. Food vendors at the Femmes du Chalet food court began packing up this week, with some already gone and others serving their final meals. The move follows a demand letter from UDCOT for almost $2 million in rent arrears, built up over several years. UDCOT Chairman Shankar Bidasi confirmed the outstanding debts, calling them a debt to the state. He said steps were taken to recover the funds, including monthly invoices and written notices. Customers expressed sadness at the closure. Restaurateur Joseph Henry said the breakfast shed was once popular for affordable meals, but vendors struggled to compete with modern, air-conditioned restaurants in the capital. For many, the end of the breakfast shed marks the loss of a cultural landmark in Trinidad and Tobago's food scene. A 43-year-old Zimbabwean man was kidnapped, beaten, and robbed after being forced off the Beetham Highway on Sunday afternoon. Police said around 2 p.m., the victim was confronted by a gunman after turning onto Abattoir Road. He was ordered to drive toward Eastern Quarry, but crashed into another vehicle and was pulled from his car. The suspect tied his hands and feet, beat him with the weapon, and stole valuables including his passport, laptop, 2 cell phones, $5,000 in cash, and other items. The man was eventually released and later reported the incident to Besson Street Police. In the region, Grenada has announced major changes to its Cuban Workers Program, following a U.S. request to review the initiative. The Foreign Affairs Ministry said new measures will ensure all Cuban professionals in Grenada now work under the same conditions as their Grenadian counterparts. The agreement came after high-level talks in Havana, led by Foreign Minister Joseph Andal and Health Minister Philip Telesford. The government thanked Cuba for its cooperation and acknowledged Washington's role in raising the issue. Officials also stressed the program has been vital to Grenada's healthcare system, even as efforts continue to expand local training and scholarships. The announcement comes weeks after the U.S. imposed visa restrictions on Grenadian officials, accusing the Cuban mission scheme of exploiting medical workers, a charge strongly rejected by Caribbean governments. In international news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meets President Donald Trump in Washington Monday, just days after rejecting international calls to end the war in Gaza at the United Nations. The White House is urging both Israel and Hamas to finalize a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Trump has proposed a 21-point plan, calling for an immediate truce, the release of hostages, a phased Israeli withdrawal, and the disarmament of Hamas. An international force would manage post-war Gaza before a reformed Palestinian Authority takes over. Netanyahu has vowed to continue fighting until Hamas is destroyed, but faces growing isolation abroad and political pressure at home. The talks are being described as among the most critical in years for the U.S.-Israel relationship. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Coming on my life like snake in the grass. One with your fakeness in the right bag. One with your fakeness in the right bag. Me thought was a friend and we like it like that. Coming on my life like snake in the grass. One with your fakeness in the right bag.
Well, I don't have time to beef. Lucky for you, my friend. I in a good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes right up to the limits. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. Good spirit. I drink in a good spirits. The vibes ain't cars in a minute. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah. My friend and them couldn't tell you about me. Good people, it's good people. We only want love in we circle. Yeah. My family couldn't tell you about me. Good people, it's good people. We only on love. Well, every man make their choices. I said we make sacrifices. We block out the noises. We have to forget the voices. One day we gon' make it. We don't have to fake it. I give you my best. I give you the chain off my neck. I give you my love and respect. But now hear the story. Is you vexed with me? Like I do you something. Like I do I drink in a good, good spirits. The vibes ain't cost in a minute. So don't hold me down, don't fight me down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My friend and them could I tell you about me. Good people is good people. We only want love in this circle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My family could I tell you about me. Good people is good people. We only want love.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
In your pocket, so you're never too sad.
Yeah. We're bringing you a good spirit. Where is it coming from? Yeah, it's coming right here on NewEraTTR Radio. Remember, we are the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We take you above and beyond. Welcome inside a brand new hour, the 7 o'clock hour. Happy we are here to be with you. And of course, remember, we stream all day, every day at NewEraTTRadio.com. NewEraTTRadio on TuneIn, so you get us on your Google and Alexa devices. And to all the folks in Gael Caribbean, we say a very special good morning to you. Get involved, Gael people. All right. Also to all the folks on YouTube and Facebook, remember your next engagement will be the Drive Time Exchange with Tony Fraser this afternoon at 4 p.m. All right. So we're looking forward to having you up on the inside here. Continue to vote on the poll question, yes or no first, and everything else after that. And also remember, people, we are collecting names, right? We got 2 tickets to give away on Friday. Or you don't put forward to watch corn. Right? So all you will have to do, we have a little gateway, 2 or 3 minutes, and all you have to do is call and tell us where you are and your name goes into the box. And Friday we're going to do that draw, okay? So things for you to look forward to. That's coming up right after the poll. So stay with us here on NewEraTTR Radio, and we will be back shortly.
Don't miss Furniture Plus Inventory Blowout Sale. Get up to 65% off in-store and online. Enjoy massive savings on furniture, appliances, and more. Hurry, this deal won't last. Shop now and save big at Furniture Plus.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Devante tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on NewEraTTR Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at NewEraTTRadio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
the best show by far for 2025.
You don't leave out to watch Corn is the #1 comedy of 2025. And this weekend we head to Sapa in San Fernando on Saturday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 5th at 6:30 p.m.
I never knew these plays were this good. I'm not missing another one.
Tickets available at the Sapa Box from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And at K-Squared Fashion, C3 Center and Brentford Mall, Chagonas, as well as Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. A play so funny, you can't watch it once.
Of course, we are back on the breakfast show this morning after that short break for news and, of course, paying some of our bills. And, of course, we're heading straight into our poll this morning. And our poll this morning is, there it is.
Go ahead, Richard.
Should there be an intervention to save the breakfast shed? That's our poll this morning. And of course, the number is scrolling at the bottom there, 281-1315, 281-1315. We'll take some of the votes at this point. And are we still taking some of their votes? Yes, we are. But
whilst we counting, they can vote.
Yeah, while we counting, you could vote. So should there be an intervention to save the breakfast shed? That's our poll this morning.
All right, don't forget our guest coming up shortly will be the chairman of the Tuna Puna Piako Regional Corporation, Josiah Austin. All right. Josie Richardson says yes. Kenny in Harlem, yes. Anthony Miguel, yes. Sherwin Kerr says yes. Suzette Jessup says yes. Magic, yes. Kazim Mohammed, yes. Brennan Smith, yes. DL says yes. Okay. Michael Oliver did not vote. Robert Taylor, yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Michael Cadet, yes. Rena Jennings, yes. CJ says we need another Rumbox Lime. Of course we do. James Kamau says yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Jeez. Where you get a woman from, boy, Richard? Hilary Zan says no. Ingrid from Tucson says yes. Cheryl Henry didn't vote. Michael Oliver says yes. Lyndon says no. Cheryl Henry, yes. Michael. Donna Ramlochan, yes. Mogains, yes. Valerie Mendoza did not vote. Lenroy Cunningham, yes. Apollinaus, yes. Miguel Gonzalez, yes. Victor Tongs, yes. Trini in Boston, yes. Ava Smith, yes. CJ from New York, yes. A lot of chat here between Magic and DL. Diane Payne says yes. Beauty Culture says yes. Jeez on ages. Jason Samuel says yes. A whole debate taking place here, you know. Damian Edwin says yes. Edwin Joseph says yes. Estelita Sampson. I don't know what you said. Yes, tell Charlesy, no call, no vote. Start early, cannot get through. Well, you can vote on the chat, you know, Ms. Sampson. Anthony Atwell says yes. Margaret Thomas, yes. Julia Batiste, yes. Gregory Boyer, yes. Carla Hercules, yes. Lyndon Williams, yes. Lennox Francois, yes. Colted Finch, yes. Ann Noel, yes. And Hazel Will, yes. Woo.
All right, lots of people on voting today. Yeah. All right, so on the WhatsApp chat, we have Captain Ron saying yes, Terry Ann saying no, Judith in Tobago saying yes, Mahi says yes, Brenda says yes, Fifi says yes, Zena says yes, Laverne Edwards says yes, Miss Sampson already voted, Joseph Clement says yes, Sandra Serret, let me get into your chat. No, Sandra just said hi. Long Islander says yes. Pauline says no. Sean Ram says no. Yeah.
And I have two more. Just a Nice Guy, yes. And Howard Hernandez, yes. That's it.
That's it, yeah. So while Richard tabulates them. So remember, after the poll, people, we have 2 tickets to give away on Friday for the Fall Cock. That is heading
If you
Sapa.
called yesterday, you don't have to call again, huh?
Yeah, so all those whose names are already there, you don't have to call again. Your name is in the box already. And we're going to do a draw on Friday, and that person is going to go see Richard play either Saturday or Sunday at Sapa. Of course, if you're out of Trinidad and Tobago, we could probably make an arrangement for whenever you're here in TNT to come and see the play too. Yeah. So make sure we don't exclude anybody.
Yeah, if they call and the name comes up, they could choose to give it away to someone.
And you could, because you can put your name inside, so all those folks who are listening from all around the globe, you could put your name inside the hat. And if you win, you could give it to somebody who might be able to go here, or whenever you're in the country, we'll honor it.
Yeah.
We'll do like how you went to the Hyatt Wendell 1 year.
Yeah, I scraped through the day before the year end, you know.
When they went on the last day.
Last possible day.
Of the year.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, the poll results. Should there be an intervention to save the breakfast shed? We had 59 people voting on the poll this morning. And of the 59 people voting, 54 of you said yes, you do think there should be an intervention to save the breakfast shed. And 5 of you said no. So the yeas have it by a huge margin that they do think that there should be an intervention to save the breakfast shed. So the yeas have it. So I suppose Mr. Bidesi is duly advised as the chairman of UDCOT what public sentiment is, because this show is a good indicator of public sentiment. So 54 people said yes, 5 people said no, for a total of 59. That's it. The poll is now at an end.
All right. That's the end of the poll.
Whatever it is.
All right.
Okay, so right now is where you get to call.
Yeah, this is where you get to call. Just give your name and where you're calling from, your real name, and where you're calling from.
That is
and you
all
have
you
a
need to
chance
do.
to win 2 tickets.
How many calls you take? 5 or something?
2 minutes of calls.
Yeah, 2 minutes of call. So how many we could get in that time we take in? When they'll start the clock?
All right, clock started, 1:23.
All right, clock starts now. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning. This is Brenda from Penal.
Brenda from Penal. Okay, no problem. All right. 281-1315 or 299-5156.
An opportunity to win 2 tickets to your Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn for Saturday night. 281-1315 or 299-5156. Put your name in the draw for the possibility to win 2 tickets to your Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn on at Sapa in San Fernando this weekend, the Saturday night performance, which is at 8:30 p.m.
All right. Caller, good morning.
Morning. Yeah, Vincent Ashton from Point 14.
All right, Vincent from Point 14. Good morning to you, Vincent. All right. Moving again. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning. Carol.
Carol from where?
Carol Guevara from Sabonas.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much, Carol.
Just
good
under
morning to you, caller. Caller, good morning.
Frank from Powder Magazine.
What's your name again?
Darvin Frank.
Darvin Frank from Powder Magazine.
Hey, Darvin, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, no problem. We move in. Wendell, how the clock looking there? Good morning to you, caller.
Half a minute.
Yes, morning. Miguel Gonzalez from Kumutu.
Miguel Gonzalez from Cunupia. All right.
Gonzalez from Kumutu.
Miguel, sorry about that. All right. The clock is ticking. Wendell, let them know. Caller, good morning to you.
15 seconds.
Yes, Raymond from Twin City.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. All right.
And that's it, Wendell, because 15 seconds don't last that long.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's it for today.
I was hoping somebody would have squeezed in one.
All right, well, let's squeeze in this final one since it's here. Good morning to you, caller.
Victor from Port of Spain.
Victor from Port of Spain. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
You have a thwarted sense of time.
I was
and that is it for today.
5 seconds extra.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You remember, this is Trinidad and Tobago for you. We always have stragglers.
Yeah, but then I rest. Oh, God, I rest. That was good. That was 20 minutes. No, honey, it was 2.
It was 2.
All right, okay. Thank you very much, people. So tomorrow we
just 2 minutes again.
So if you didn't get in as yet, either today or yesterday, you have tomorrow and Thursday to get your name in the box. All right.
Right, and we're going to write. What is going to happen is that Sir Charles is going to randomly give numbers to all of these names, and Wendell will choose a number arbitrarily, and I will choose a number arbitrarily. We would not be privy to who the names are at all and what the number allocation is. And well, no, it's one person winning.
Yes, one
person winning too.
Right, so we just decide on ourselves on a number, and whoever is allocated to that number is going to win 2 tickets to your Don't Leave Out to watch Corn Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. at Sapa in San Fernando. And trust me, you should not miss it. You should not miss it.
Yes, and remember, people, this is prime real estate we're giving away here right now. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Well, our guest is here, so.
Our guest is in. All right, well, let's introduce him.
Let's get into our Let's Talk segment.
Yeah.
So we are welcoming Josiah Austin, who is, of course, the chairman of the Puna Piako Regional Corporation. Good morning, Mr. Austin, and thanks for joining us on the Breakfast Show this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning to the wider Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, it's all over the world, people watching you and listening to you right now, and not just Trinidad and Tobago.
True.
Yeah.
Good morning to the world.
All right. Nice. Thanks for joining us, Chairman Austin. All right. First, we're going to tell us, Puna Piako Regional Corporation is one of those complex corporations where you don't know where it starts and you don't know where it ends. Explain that to us first.
Very, very much so. One of the largest geographically. Furthest north, we Aripo and Blanchishes. Furthest south, we about Monroe Road, just bordering Central and Chiconas there. Furthest east, Mount Hope. And that just gives you an idea of the span. Well over 250,000 people being serviced through the Tuna Piako Corporation. So a very wide span, and 16 electoral districts. Each district has well over 11,000 people. So you get an idea of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, but you also go all the way up to Santa Rosa, don't you?
Santa Rosa, yeah. Santa Rosa and Pinto, Wallerfield also, yeah.
Yeah. I never understood that, how part here is Arima and part is Tuna Puna. I never understood that.
Very much. This is where, but it's something.
I mean, because Santa Rosa people, kind of consider themselves part of Arima. Even La Joqueta people kind of consider themselves part of Arima, because some of them will say La Joqueta Arima. So it's strange that those parts are really not in Arima; they are in Tuna Puna Piako.
You're having a little microphone problem there, Chairman Austin.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
we hear you better. I think you might need to come closer to the phone.
Yes. I said I had a discussion with the mayor of Arima just about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, lucky you.
Somewhat.
How did that go?
I mean, it's just a discussion about how parts of Tuna Puna Piako is also called a Rima. So in his borough celebrations and so forth, he wanted to incorporate some parts of a Rima that seemingly falls within the Tuna Puna Piako region. And, I welcome that and some more collaborations. So is
it that he didn't know that what a Rima boundaries are?
No, he knew. He very well knows exactly the boundaries and so forth, but he wants to celebrate a Rima holistically. So the parts that are within the Tuna Puna Piako region, he wants to do some collaborations and incorporate it in his celebrations and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. You learn the politics quick, you learn how to respond quick. Because you done sense where I was going.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, what are some of the challenges facing Tuna Puna Piako Regional Corporation, especially now that you no longer have URP, you no longer have CPEP, the reforestation, because I'm sure Tuna Puna Piako would also cover some of those, some of the ranges and so on.
Right.
What are some of the challenges you've been facing since those programs have ended?
Well, obviously the maintenance and public health issues that are plaguing us now, as you mentioned, with those programs now abolished, I really we're really in a position where we have to find ways to try to maintain those spaces, calling on the private citizenry to assist in actually maintaining these spaces. And as I mentioned before, we go all the way up to Blanchishes and some of these areas. So even though we are faced with a situation where these agencies are not in function, we still have the other situation with maintenance of our roadways, our road restoration program and so forth. So we're in a position where we have to find innovative ways, and if persons would see most recently on the media and also on our social media platforms, we were in collaboration with TCS using a cement-based waste product to patch and restore earthen roads and other roads within the region. So we're finding other ways through public-private partnerships, but where the finances and the resources and the assistance from other agencies aren't there, we have to find ways because the region is so large and we have to get the job done.
Yeah.
I know the issue, but of course it's one of the largest regional corporations. Is it the largest, by the way? Is it the largest in terms of population?
It's the population, yes it is, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes. It might be the largest in terms of area, but in terms of population.
Yeah.
We had a caller that called earlier, and he wanted us to ask you two questions.
Right.
So I'm facilitating those questions. One is the Macoya grounds, which is next to the Center of Excellence. He says that has not been maintained, and it is not being maintained at all, and properly being properly maintained. And he said actually some private guy or private person, I suppose, whom he knows, who is trying to maintain it, but that the regional corporation is not maintaining that ground. And told us to ask you that question, why? And so that's the first question. And the second question is with regard to the pavilion in Pinto Road. It has been down since 2020. And he said even though they have reached out to Penelope Beckers, the MP for the area, and she says, well, that would come under her purview. They said that, they say, yes, they're working on it, some kind of response like that. But he says it's been down since 2020. And we're now in 2025. And so whether the Tuna Puna Regional Corporation is aware of that. So those two questions are for you.
What I will say though, with respect to the Macoya grounds, I'm not aware of it not being maintained. Actually, the Minister of Homeland Security and our line minister, the Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, both MPs for St. Augustine and Tuna Puna, both held a football competition there on the holiday that passed, Republic Day. It was well attended and the ground was up to standard and so forth. So I wouldn't go as far as to say that. What I will say though is that we are asking that when persons are given permission to utilize the ground, that just personal responsibility prevail in that regard, because we had a situation at least a month or two ago where we allowed persons to use the ground, open the pavilion and the toilets, for that purpose. And we have persons defecating in the toilets on the ground. We have a situation where someone lit a fire in there and it burnt up all of the electrical connections in there, and now we have to spend well over 30,000 to restore. So we have this situation, this continuous situation where maintenance and assistance from the public when given permission to use is not upheld. So we're putting systems in place where that is concerned. But we have regular football and cricket running there. And also some persons would see a container there now. We are about to introduce a police post there where at least 5 officers will be held and hosted there for a 24-hour period. So we would have officers there around the clock very soon. And we have other plans for that area that will be mentioned in the public space very soon. So there are several things to be rolled out in the Mokoya area, but we have a continuous maintenance program being run there, and we've placed also some public-private partnerships with respect to the maintenance. So you'll see a better maintenance program where that is concerned, but there weren't any concerns. There were concerns with parking, there were concerns with the pavilion, and that issue with the electricity and so forth, and issues with the toilets, but no issues with the maintenance. But I could state that from now on you'll have better maintenance of both the cricket and football side because of the public-private partnerships and the MOUs we've signed. So that will speak to that. With respect to the Pinto grounds, brought to my attention was the fact that the lights were down for some time, which falls under TNTech. We made a representation, myself and the council for the area, Roger Moore, and since we've got the lights restored, and we got the lights restored for a major football competition that was being held there a month and a half ago, in time for that football competition, and it was successfully held. Another issue was brought to my attention just last week. I was telling the person that, you have to ensure that we are notified about these issues one time, at least myself, at least Councillor Moore, and I could see that we are dealing with the issue. It was only recently brought to my attention, but as issues come, we rectify. So too, we are dealing with the backboard. They're asking for a new backboard and a basketball upgrade of the basketball court, the painting and so forth. This was something that was supposed to be done. I know the Honorable Penelope Beckles, she would have put on the plan, I think through RDC, it was approved to be done, an upgrade of that space. I'm not sitting where that is right now with respect to RDC and the functionality and so forth, but we've taken it upon ourselves through the intervention of Councillor Moore to make some backboards. So we're doing that throughout the region now, making the backboards and the rings, and all the Councillor Legare, the Councillor for Karapo, has taken the lead on that, and we're sourcing the material and making it ourselves, and that will be done throughout, not just in the Pinto ground, but throughout other grounds. So the lights were restored in the Pinto ground. We're dealing with the basketball court now, and that should be it where that is concerned. Lights is already there. Lights were down for some time, and our intervention brought the lights back. So that should speak to the ground and what I know on these grounds. But I mean, you could imagine we have over 99 parks and recreational spaces to be maintained in this region. So a lot happening in the region, and we're finding ways through public-private partnerships. We've signed a MOU with USC, University of Southern Caribbean, with respect to the maintenance of Maracas Recreation Ground, with respect to the ground in Trinity in Henry Street that's bordering Eastgate. We're about to do some partnerships with them, with Eastgate themselves, and I could name several other grounds in Central, also Walker Park and some others where we're doing some other collaborations. So there's several things that are happening simultaneously with respect to maintenance of spaces, and we are finding ways done through public-private partnerships particularly.
Yeah, Chairman, give us an update on what's happening at Etihad ground, because I know that ground has taken on some extensive work in terms of the pavilion and so on. What's the latest with there?
Well, I just Friday I was speaking to some of the representatives of UDCUT, just seeking to find out where are they with respect to approvals. I note all projects that were underway through UDCUT were placed on hold. So the question now stands: when will they be restarted, or will they be restarted? So I was given some positive feedback with respect to Etihad. We note that this project includes a pavilion seating area that with a capacity of 1,500 persons, seating capacity, a jogging track, a grass track that is, replanting and resurfacing of the football field, new cricket nets. So that will assist in several sport disciplines and just improving the overall aesthetics of that space that so desires that improvement. So we await UDCUT and that, and UDCUT now falls under the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. So we await that approval from Minister John. We await that approval from UDCUT management and board. So we are hopeful. We know it is a desired project by all of Trinidad and Tobago. So we just await that.
Well, just a minute before you move off of Etihad ground, because that is so close to where I am at, and while we talk about all the grand things that are supposed to be happening, there are quite a bit of things that are not happening, and that the exercise machines and stuff since about 2017 or 18, those things have been in a really dilapidated condition, has not been fixed, maintained. What is to happen with those things that the public use in that area, and why has it not been fixed and repaired over time?
Well, there has been, and I don't. I want to choose my words carefully. There has been a holistic plan for the Etihad Savannah. I came in as one of the youngest councillors in 2016, and by 2017, 2018, our then chairman, Paul Leacock, would have done a overall plan and overall plan to upgrade that space, particularly with play parks to begin with. And we had a whole plan that was laid, and the plan was to really execute it after the drawings were done and everything was sourced. However, as some may know, some may not know, we've had an ongoing legal battle with some of the NGOs and groups there, in particular Save Our Green Space. And there were several things that were planned, inclusive of, well, as you saw, the inclusion of a food village, with then inclusion of a grass pavers parking section. And with the introduction of the grass pavers section, the play park now would be moved to another part of the savannah that is not utilized and expanded. So that would have introduced an expansion of the play park to more than what it is, to accommodate the volume of persons on that ground, So that was the plan. So where the play park is now, it would have been the grass pavers car park, and then possibly south of the football field. In that area, we'd have made a bigger play park. Mm-hmm. So it's still an ongoing thing. As you would know, the grass pavers were the project was already awarded and was supposed to commence, and we were just going through that legal battle with that particular group. But the aim and the idea is to do a bigger play park, which we have already on the drawing board.
Well, one of the successes of Etihad Ground, I have to admit, has been in fact the initiation of that food village, but it just seems to have been stuck in terms of its order. It's not orderly, because I visited from time to time when I'm really hungry and going home. You know what I mean? But it's a great idea, but somehow or the other there's no order to it. Is there a plan to structure?
But you said there's no order to it. I don't understand what you mean by there's no order.
Driving in, you don't know where the entrance. People park all how, Yeah,
I find the police officers there and stuff.
Yeah.
Where?
So
in there?
Guiding you, telling you, car park there, etc.
Okay, I've never experienced that.
Overall order has been halted due to this ongoing battle also. But coming in as a chairman with an entrepreneurial mind, I sought to, ensure that we want to make a profit and ensure that the entrepreneurs and the persons who are there are persons are in need of building themselves as entrepreneurs. And then the order of the place is something we're dealing with now. Obviously, the parking is something to be incorporated in the order and the look and feel of the place, because I would always mention some of the prominent private sector food villages open now. They came to me back in 2023 and said, hey, let me do a walkthrough now. Even in 2022, when I was just a councillor, they said, hey, let's do a walkthrough, and I showed them around. And some of the more prominent ones now, you're seeing that, they took some ideas from us. And, I want to show them too that even in the public sector, we could still maintain what we have. And obviously, I mean, for those who don't know, the rent there is about $950 a month, as compared to others. So persons are really making and earning a living there because it's next to nothing. But we still have plans to incorporate benches, to incorporate entertainment, to include social media, to rearrange the look and feel and the parking arrangements, the parking in between vendors and so forth, the lights and running water, the layout of the space with carts and tents and the whole layout. So there's a proposal that I put forward. I had halted the Constantine Food Village. I'll mention that now too. We are in plans and in introducing a Constantine Food Village. So south of the football field in Constantine, where there's a parking area, we have plans to include a food village there. But this one will be very different to the Etihad Food Village, as you know, learning from what has started there and some of the things we have to tweak there. We've started the Etihad Food Village since 2018. So now as we go into 2025, some 7 years after, we are really developing and going to make it into a viable space, a space that is more updated and suitable for the era we are in now, as you say. So the layout will be different. You'll see some things changing as we move into the December month, and then the introduction of the Mokoya Food Village will come thereafter as we continue to build on local economic development in the region.
Yeah. Do you have such an officer assigned to your corporation, LED officer?
Yes, we do. Mr. Dennis Lord is the LED officer, and he's been sending proposals, and we have several proposals. Even one was sent to our line ministry recently with the development of Quora, Pool 1, Pool 2, and so forth. So there's some plans for Quora also. Yeah.
I know you too, as a chairman and as a corporation, would have pulled off another successful Independence Day parade. Well, not parade, but fireworks and so on. Yeah. Tell us a bit about that, and because I know that it would have grown a lot this year because of what happened in Port of Spain.
Very much so, right? So I mean, over the years, when we actually came in 2023. That was something that I always saw fit for the region so large. And, we needed a space to celebrate and a space to show what our region is made of. And in 2023, it was a smaller scale, but we still had about 5,000 or so people. And, we still had the 15 to 20 minutes of fireworks. It was very well displayed, and the whole show, the cultural show, in addition to that, with the pan bands and soca artists, gospel artists, and so forth, that was very much welcomed in 2023, and that was fully backed by the private sector. Private sector came out because, as I will tell you, we were sworn in on the 30th of August. We celebrated the 31st of August, right? We had like about a week to plan, knowing the council that was coming in and so forth. We planned very quickly, and that was totally backed by the private sector. Going into 2024, we, I sort of really, we had a Tuna Puna week celebration and other celebrations within the year, and persons started seeing the worth of the region, seeing what we're trying to build, and highlighting our efforts, came on board. And I remember saying, I just want this and I just want that, and someone, one of the sponsors said, hey, nah, this has a lot of worth in it, and this is a celebration of the region. We're going to make it bigger and better than it is. And over the years, things just started to happen in a way that it's just been growing. And the kind of crowd that we saw this year, I didn't even expect it. It's only after my team, our CEO and staff and persons were saying, hey, this was even bigger than last year. And it's just growing.
But I think you all would have benefited from the fact that Port of Spain had whittled down the celebrations. Because they had no I think you're the only region that had fireworks of some sort.
We did, and we didn't advertise it.
But people knew because we advertised it on this show.
We did, right?
And of course we have a lot of listeners on the East-West corridor. Yeah. So I know a lot of Aremians, because we also had the Arema Borough Corporation on at the time, and they weren't doing any fireworks. So I think I can't remember what they had. I can't remember what they were having, but they weren't having fireworks. So so I know a lot of Aremians would have gone to Eddie Hart grounds. So I heard the house was so huge that that it was bigger than any PNM rally in history.
Well, Chairman Austin, would you take a couple calls?
No problem at all. No problem.
So while we wait on those calls, though, the issue of property tax going to the corporations. Yes. I know that you would have had a response. You can clear that up for us, because the minister has since responded to your clarification.
Right. So as stated yesterday in another media interview, I sought to clarify that whilst the minister would have made it clear that at least not yet funds have been disbursed to the regional corporations from which they were sourced for development projects, for service delivery corporations, we are asking, because there's no clarity as to what is going to happen. There's no clarity as to where the financing and the revenue for corporations will come, and that is something that we're starved of, and there's something that there's a cloud over that.
But where does it usually come from? Because corporations are always financed. Property tax is relatively new.
So what is happening? A lot of persons, as you would say, someone called this morning and asked you those questions, and I'm preaching public-private partnerships, but not. I mean, that's as much as we could go. We in the corporation, local government is literally archaic. There's need for some upgrades. Every corporation, UNC or PNM run, is asking for more finances and more autonomy within corporations. And that is what that had allowed for us. Imagine, we just spoke about Santa Rosa and then we spoke about Blanchisseuse. The councillor for Santa Rosa and Pinto is also the councillor for Blanchisseuse. And in this electoral district, you have 2 roads and 2 drains a year. So when you do your paver road in Pinto, you study, I have 1 more in Santa Rosa, but I have Blanchisseuse. All right, how am I going to split this up? That is crazy for a region like Tuna Puna Piako with 11,000 persons each councillor. So we saw some faith in the property tax regime that would have brought some finances to the regional corporations. So now we're in a position where that is removed. What next? Are we still get blamed? Are we still going to be
Well, I assume you will still get money from the central government like you always get every single year. Maybe not enough.
Never enough.
But the same that you will get. But part of what you're touching on there, though, is local government reform, because you talked about autonomy.
Yes.
And central government have successively not wanted to grant that autonomy, because remember, granting autonomy means you're giving up some level of power, and which I assume central governments in Trinidad and Tobago kind of reluctant to. They will talk it, but they won't actually do it.
Yep.
It's quite possible, because I only saw this property tax regime as a vehicle to bring about that autonomy and to bring about that reform. In the absence of that, we're just going backward, and we'll continue to get blamed for things beyond our control. We'll continue to be the laughing stock sometimes in some parts of the region, some parts of the country. And at the end of the day, we'll just continue to get blamed for things that we just can't fix.
What's your relationship like with the Minister of Local Government, who was in fact a past chairman of Tuna Puna Piako Regional Corporation?
I would say we have a healthy relationship. We speak often. We speak almost every day, and she being a former local government practitioner, council in the Tuna Puna Piako region, and then a chairman between 2010 to 2013. She understands what is necessary. So we have a good relationship, and we speak often as to, what is needed in our region, what is needed in our corporation. And she's well aware, and has been working with us as best as possible in service delivery. So, I mean, these things it's really an advocacy and really buying from the government, buying from the cabinet to make things happen. And I'm really hoping that they would see the need for what we are asking for and less of, because I mean, you have to understand, and this is something I observe as young as I am. I've observed it, and one must take into consideration. During this time, I understand that in the past, that there was the introduction of offices and office staff for councillors, but still local government is staff. Now in the station, we're speaking about increasing landlord rent. We're talking about an increase of $1,000 for your office staff, right? And while that is something being celebrated across the local government body, local government is still starved of resources and starved of being what it is supposed to be and taking its rightful place to really bring services to each Burgess and each electoral district within the country. So I really want us to really think about the holistic picture, and I understand that these things happen during this time when under this regime, but I really want us to understand and look at the holistic picture of what is needed in local government.
I know what's needed, but I can't say it on radio. Do we have any calls, Sir Charles?
Oh, yes, we do.
All right. Yeah, let's take a couple now. We have just about 2 minutes left.
All right, caller, good morning to you. Okay, like I lost the call. All right. A caller was somebody was asking a question about the Mickey Trotman recreation grounds. What is happening where that grounds is concerned?
No, that is the same Pinto grounds.
That's the Pinto grounds. Just
to reiterate that we got the lights restored. There may be another issue there that we make representation. As you would know, TNTech doesn't fall under our jurisdiction, but we still make representation, and we got the lights restored in the past, and we'll do whatever necessary. I understand that there are some bulbs blown still, right? So the lights weren't coming on at all. We got it on, and then there's some parts of the ground that is still a bit dark. So we're making to get that done. With respect to the basketball court, there was a project underway through RDC under the patronage of our MP for that area, the Honorable Penelope Beckles. And as such, I don't know what will happen with that project, but we as a corporation we're not waiting as the government has changed. We're not sure what will happen. But now we are stepping in to at least bring the court up to a standard with the painting and the backboard, the fixing of the backboard.
I want you just to hold it right there for a moment. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Again, good morning to the chairman of this corporation. Mr. Chairman, I live in this Tuna Puna Piako Corporation. And I know you was talking about the basketball court and thing in Pinto. That pavilion has been down since 2020. And every time you talk to the Honorable MP, Ms. Beckles, about that pavilion, she keeps saying that they are working on it. I'm happy to hear that work is being done on the Etihad ground. Now, just a stone throw away, Mokoya ground, the grass is overgrown, and Mr. Robin Oja, has been cutting that ground every week because he run a cricket league on that ground, right? And people who use that ground, right, they have no washroom facilities. It's always closed, right? So as much as I'm happy to hear that all the work that you are doing in Etihad at different parts of the ground, that levy Constantine ground needs proper maintenance. If you just pass there now, you will see how high the grass is, right? So I'm asking you very kindly, use whatever little resources you have to maintain that ground, and I'm begging you to please do whatever is possible. Liaise with your line minister, if it's Khadija Amin or whoever it is, to get that pavilion up at the Pinto and the Mickey Chapman ground. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, clearly the caller may not have been listening earlier when you addressed all those issues.
Yeah.
Including the toilet at Mokoya.
RDC, let me just put that down there. RDC had and they were waiting on some loan issue that they had at the point in time and some other issues. But RDC at the point in time had not just had the pavilion and the upgrade of the Pinto Recreation Ground, they also had the upgrade of the Puna market and some other highly anticipated upgrades. All right. With respect, just to correct the caller, with respect to the ground, the Puna sports movement led by Robin Oja, they don't maintain the ground. They usually call us to maintain the ground, and they're calling on us to assist them a little more. But and that's the thing. As sometimes with some groups, we ask that they meet us halfway. There are some groups that have been there way before our term, way before, and even when we leave, they will still be there. And we call on them to actually assist with cutting. We've seen that happen in Etihad, and sometimes I call on the groups that utilize the space for their benefit to assist us with maintenance. So you see, the caller really thought that they maintain. They don't have any machine or anything to maintain. I've asked that some of these groups maintain and assist us with maintenance because they utilize and they benefit most from the ground because they are there every day. However, there's also a clubhouse that they use, and that has been, as you would know, development projects are being done by each council, and me being the council for that area, I have put their clubhouse to benefit from a toilet. We've also done a public-private partnership to cover the clubhouse that was where the roof was blown off. So we're doing that. The clubhouse, the cricket clubhouse, will be redone by the corporation, inclusive of a toilet facility, right, for their benefit, which is their cricket clubhouse. With respect to the maintenance of the grounds, we usually cut the grounds. As I said, just on the 24th, there's a football competition, and both sides were used by the MPs for the surrounding areas. So that too has been maintained. It's not in a state. I passed there yesterday. It's not in a state. And with respect to the toilet facilities, as I mentioned before, defecating on the ground, vandalism of that space there also was done, where we now have to get TNTEC to come, and we have to pay well over 30,000 to restore the electricals and so forth. So it's also personal responsibility of the users also. So we have to put a system in place to monitor the users while they use, and it's a frequently used ground. So it's a work in progress, but the maintenance plan is there. And going into this fiscal now that we are on the final day of fiscal 2024-2025, there's some plans in place to be rolled out going into October, November.
All right. Okay. Well, Chairman, that's where we have to leave it for today. We want to thank you so much for passing through and giving us the information. Any parting words?
Thank you for this panel. It's the first of this kind. Usually, on a morning edition or a radio interview, but I like this. You should invite me more often.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
You gotta go anywhere to do this, and you're reaching more people.
Exactly.
TV6 and TTT don't show in Dubai and thing, That's why you know that. And Yokohama, Japan. People in Yokohama, Japan, Ethiopia, Dubai, all of them watching you now,
Even Baghdad.
Even Baghdad.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Blessings.
Thank you, Chairman Austin.
Nice.
Right. Of course, that was Chairman of the Tuna Puna Piako Regional Corporation, Councillor Josiah Austin. He represented himself well. I've never seen or listened to an interview with Josiah before, but he did well this morning after.
Yeah, he did. Obviously, he has a passion for the region, so we saw it plays out. Of course, a lot of the, I suppose, the recurring record in terms of local government is finance.
For money.
How much money, how much money they're getting to do what they want to accomplish. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens at the budget on October 13th.
Well, let's wait and see what is happening, because the news is extremely late this morning.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean. I'm Derek. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers is dismissing talk of tension between Trinidad and Tobago and its CARICOM neighbors after Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besessar held no bilateral meetings with regional leaders during last week's UN General Assembly. Sobers says the issue was simply scheduling, not friction. While in New York, the Prime Minister met with leaders of Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. But a planned meeting with Jamaica's Andrew Holness never materialized. This afternoon at 3 p.m., Prasad Besessar heads to Washington, D.C. for talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The Court of Appeal has reserved its decision in a landmark case that could set, for the first time, a sentencing framework for murder in Trinidad and Tobago, where the death penalty can no longer be imposed. The appeals involve Freyed Edu and Raleigh Ghani, convicted in 1999 for the murders of businessman Rajpal Das and his sister-in-law, Susan Ramnath. Their death sentences were commuted to life under the Pratt and Morgan precedent. In resentencing last year, Justice Gail Gonzalez imposed life terms with minimums of 12 years for Edu and 5 for Ghani, prompting appeals on whether the sentences were too harsh. Attorneys argued the men showed strong evidence of rehabilitation, while prosecutors insisted the killings, one a contract hit, the other to silence a witness, were brutal enough to justify life terms. The judges said this was the first opportunity to set clear guidelines for murder resentencing. Their ruling will come at a later date. A late-night police and prison operation at the maximum security prison has led to the arrest of 3 men and the seizure of drugs, electronics, and other contraband believed bound for inmates. The exercise, which began Sunday night and ended early Monday, involved officers from the DCP Operations Unit, SIU, MOPS, and the Prison Service. The suspects include men from Morvant, Santa Cruz, and Debati. Officers intercepted a silver Nissan Ladio and found marijuana, cocaine, a drone with batteries and chargers, a Wi-Fi modem, digital scales, cigarettes, and lighters. A coordinated sting inside the prison also uncovered more prohibited items in cell block searches. Investigators say the bust has disrupted a smuggling network targeting the maximum security prison. After decades of serving locals and visitors, the iconic breakfast shed on Port of Spain's waterfront has shut its doors. Food vendors at the Femmes du Chalet food court began packing up this week, with some already gone and others serving their final meals. The move follows a demand letter from UDCOT for almost $2 million in rent arrears, built up over several years. UDCOT Chairman Shankar Bidasi confirmed the outstanding debts, calling them a debt to the state. He said steps were taken to recover the funds, including monthly invoices and written notices. Customers expressed sadness at the closure. Restaurateur Joseph Henry said the breakfast shed was once popular for affordable meals, but vendors struggled to compete with modern, air-conditioned restaurants in the capital. For many, the end of the breakfast shed marks the loss of a cultural landmark in Trinidad and Tobago's food scene. A 43-year-old Zimbabwean man was kidnapped, beaten, and robbed after being forced off the Beetham Highway on Sunday afternoon. Police said around 2 p.m., the victim was confronted by a gunman after turning onto Abattoir Road. He was ordered to drive toward Eastern Quarry, but crashed into another vehicle and was pulled from his car. The suspect tied his hands and feet, beat him with the weapon, and stole valuables including his passport, laptop, 2 cell phones, $5,000 in cash, and other items. The man was eventually released and later reported the incident to Besson Street Police. In the region, Grenada has announced major changes to its Cuban workers program, following a U.S. request to review the initiative. The Foreign Affairs Ministry said new measures will ensure all Cuban professionals in Grenada now work under the same conditions as their Grenadian counterparts. The agreement came after high-level talks in Havana, led by Foreign Minister Joseph Andal and Health Minister Philip Telesford. The government thanked Cuba for its cooperation and acknowledged Washington's role in raising the issue. Officials also stressed the program has been vital to Grenada's healthcare system, even as efforts continue to expand local training and scholarships. The announcement comes weeks after the U.S. imposed visa restrictions on Grenadian officials, accusing the Cuban mission scheme of exploiting medical workers, a charge strongly rejected by Caribbean governments. In international news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meets President Donald Trump in Washington Monday, just days after rejecting international calls to end the war in Gaza at the United Nations. The White House is urging both Israel and Hamas to finalize a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Trump has proposed a 21-point plan, calling for an immediate truce, the release of hostages, a phased Israeli withdrawal, and the disarmament of Hamas. An international force would manage post-war Gaza before a reformed Palestinian Authority takes over. Netanyahu has vowed to continue fighting until Hamas is destroyed, but faces growing isolation abroad and political pressure at home. The talks are being described as among the most critical in years for the U.S.-Israel relationship. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Pay $1 down on higher purchase plans at Furniture Plus. Enjoy fast approval, low interest rates, and up to 36 months financing. Retirees, self-employed, and permanent employees apply today. Buy now, pay later with Furniture Plus credit plans. Conditions apply.
Charmflair Auto Services Limited, your one-stop auto repair shop, located at number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair, right opposite the brewery on the Eastern Main Road. Yes, we do it all. Repairs to all makes and models, from your everyday sedan to SUVs, light trucks, pickups, and panel vans. We're also the sole distributors of Davanti tires, certified VTS inspection station, plus a wide range of services: oil change, front end and suspension repairs, tune-ups, tire alignment, batteries, electrical work, radiator and cooling system, AC repairs, and accessories galore. We offer pickup and drop-off service too. Call us today at 662-6545 or 662-6572. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Charmflair Auto Services Limited, number 1 Industrial Lane, Charmflair. We do it all.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at NewEraTTRadio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rum Box. Drinking out of the box.
The best show by far for 2025.
You don't leave out to watch corn is the #1 comedy of 2025. And this weekend we head to Sapa in San Fernando on Saturday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 5th at 6:30 p.m.
I never knew these plays were this good. I'm not missing another one.
Tickets available at the Sapa Box from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And at K-Square Fashion, C3 Center and Brentwood Mall, Chagonas, as well as Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. A play so funny, you can't watch it once.
All right, we're back on the breakfast show this morning. Of course, this is our closing off minutes. Your Don't Leave Foul to Watch Corn, of course, continues at Sapa this weekend, Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30. Of course, tickets available at the Sapa box office, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily, and at C3 Center, K-Square Fashion, C3 Center, and Brentwood Mall, and Fence of Marabella by the Roundabout. And you can, of course, you can also purchase tickets online. But the box office at Sapa is open 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. So you can get your tickets there. I know people were going there yesterday to get tickets, so get your tickets early. You can also purchase tickets online. Check RSRR Productions Theater on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, and you can get the information of how to purchase your tickets online.
You know what? We're going to add to the pot for the show coming up this weekend. All right? We're going to add to the pot. So one person will win 2 tickets to Richard's play. And then we'll have a draw for a second person who will win a bottle of wine courtesy Rum Box. That's what we'll do. We'll add to the pot for this weekend.
There'll be two numbers being pulled.
Yeah, so we'll do 2 numbers, two names, 2 numbers or names being pulled, right?
One will win 2 tickets and one will win a bottle of wine.
Yeah, right? That's what we'll do. So the breakfast show, just call. They have 2 minutes to call after every news break, after every poll. You'll have 2 minutes to call for the next couple of days, and you'll get yourself a chance to win 2 tickets to the foul running down the corn. and of course, if you really want to run down foul cock and corn, you just add a bottle of wine to it.
Yeah, good wine to go down.
There's nothing to get you running after corn and foul like a bottle of wine, you know.
Trust me, when wine sweeten the air, I'm gonna know.
Telling me?
This is where we wrap up the breakfast show this Tuesday morning. So have a fantastic day. Whatever you do, remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. And we'll speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning. We know you have a choice in whom you watch and whom you listen to in the morning. And we are glad that you chose us.
Yeah. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
Of course, New Era TT Radio continues on the web, NewEraTTRadio.com, and on TuneIn with New Era TT Radio. All manner of content for the rest of the day, so keep on the platform. Have a fantastic day, people. This has been the Breakfast Show.
Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned